On Misfits 5, there will be the first ever Misfits boxing tag team match, featuring Pineda and BDave up against unknown opponents. Stromedy and Austin's Prince were originally slated to be the second tag team duo, but they have since pulled out, so now we're waiting for a future announcement. That being said, Misfits have confirmed that the tag team match will be going ahead, and I'm very curious on how it'll play out. I've already made a couple of videos on the Misfits boxing tag team match idea, and how it could either be super entertaining or fall flat on its face. I'm basically in the same boat as I was a few weeks ago when I first covered the tag team match, but since then, the tag team rules have been laid out and we now have a visual demonstration on how it'll work. During the tag team match, the fighters will wear bigger gloves, which I'm very glad about. They're experimenting with the formula of a sport where people can get seriously hurt, so the 16-ounce gloves is a smart idea. The regular 10-ounce gloves are not necessary for this type of novelty fight. To be completely honest with you, I wouldn't mind if the fighters even wore headgear. I know that's a bit of a controversial statement, but what if a fighter turns around when they're in their corner to tag their teammate in? Their opponent gets a little over-aggressive and hits them from behind. Now I know that's a nightmare scenario, and I'm sure that everyone in this tag team match will be respectful and professional, but in the heat of a moment, anything can happen, and I'd prefer nobody to get seriously injured. The referee needs to be very active here, and even though people have criticized the PBA for stopping FaZe Sensei in his tracks after he buzzed King Kenny for example, that type of refereeing should be applied in this tag team match at least. Let's talk about the actual rules now. So each team has a corner, and whenever a fighter goes into their respective corner, they are required to tag their teammates into the fight. If you go into your corner, you can't choose to keep fighting. You need to switch out to your teammate, which helps keep the fight varied and action-packed. I believe if one member of a team is knocked out or seriously hurt, the fight will be over, with the other team winning the match. Fans might have an issue with this rule and argue that the other person on the team should be able to keep fighting until they lose or beat their opponents, but safety should really be the top priority. If someone gets dropped, the fight should not continue, and the proper attention needs to be put on the hurt fighter. Like I said before, there was footage released by Misfits showing how the tag team would actually work. I feel like they should have had this video and the rule set ready to go when they first announced the tag team match, but here we are. This footage was recorded over at the Shoot Fighters gym, and it demonstrates how the tag team match will ideally play out. Of course, they have professional fighters and trainers performing the tag team match in the video, and I expect the fight on the card to be way more scrappy. The referee on the night needs to be on point and ensure that the fighters can tag in and out safely, but it looks like Misfits have built a good setup. I've got to be honest, I'm super interested in how all of this will play out. These small demonstration videos don't really do it justice. I'm eagerly awaiting how this tag team match will go down on the night. I love the Pineda and BDave combo, and it'll get a huge pop out of me if they walk out together. Misfits are constantly pushing the envelope and coming up with new ways to entertain their fanbase. The tag team match might end up being a step too far, but I sorta think it's supposed to be organized chaos. We'll see how everything goes, but if it doesn't work out as well as they anticipated, they can always do away with it. They're experimenting with the formula here, and I kinda love how Pineda has been involved with all of Misfits' gimmicks. The 2 fights 1 night idea, the mystery opponent, and now the tag team match. BDave is a natural entertainer as well, and even though he was overshadowed by the mystery opponent reveal in his last fight, I'm sure the crowd this time will be much more receptive. This is how you build up your fighters. By the way, I wanted to mention that I'm not trying to be critical of this tag team concept just for the sake of it. I love that Misfits are thinking outside the box here, but I'm just concerned about the safety of the fighters. That's the only real criticism I have with the idea, but I'm sure that the fighters are getting drilled on this new tag team formula and will be respectful of their opponents on the night. As Misfits 5 gets closer and closer, I'm looking forward to the tag team match more and more. It's the definition of a freak show fight, and I'm sure it'll be something that you need to watch.